So this is the piano tutorial for the Etude Opus 101 number 60. And so we want to talk about some things that will help you if you're currently learning this piece, if you have some questions about how to play this better and more comfortably. One of the first things I want to address is there is a lot of rotation in this piece. So you have one measure phrases. So one of the ways that helps is we're drawing a circle basically in the air with the wrist and also using the elbow here. So playing through those first beats, we're going to extend the elbow over to the right and then release at the end of the phrase. So you notice I lift from the wrist like there's a balloon attached, lifting my wrist up. The second measure, rotating, it's a little smaller, just the minor third there. And then the two measure phrase, I'm rotating out to the right, to the left, left to right, and releasing there. So we'll have this also happening in the left hand. The left hand's a little harder in this piece because it's right in the center of our torso here, right in the center of the body, and it's also in the middle range of the piano. So it's very difficult to get a good rotation here, but it is possible. So let's do measure 2 at the left hand's entrance. So we're rotating it into the body and then back to the right, left, release, measure 2. And that's measure 3 through 4. Left, right, and rotating out again to the right. So remember at the end of each slur, you're going to release from the wrist. We don't want to chop the note off. That's a chopped off note there. So we play the full note value and then release at the end. So rotation, you'll find that in measure 9. Left hand answers. Throughout this entire piece, using the rotation will help quite a bit. So I challenge you to take this hands separately and working on the rotational devices throughout. It will make your playing much easier and it will sound better as well. Okay, the other thing we want to talk about is the imitation. As you notice, whatever the right hand does, the left hand follows. Whatever the left hand does, the right hand follows. So at measure 1, as we just played, left hand. Now that's not too hard when you're playing one hand at a time. When you put it hands together, that's where the challenge is. I've had many students say, well, I can play it one hand at a time, but as soon as I bring in the right hand on measure 2 here, oh boy, I lose that left hand part. I can't play it or I can't hear it. So one of the ways I would suggest, besides playing it hands separately, is to ghost the right hand on measure 2. So that means have your hands in position. Right hand, you simply play on the top of the key, really not making an effort to push the key down and get any sound. So that's the ghosting technique. What I'm doing is using the coordination, playing the right hand, but I'm making my ear focus just on the left hand's part. Then ghosting. Measure 3 and 4 is really a duet, so it's okay to have good volume here. Measure 5 takes the lead in the left hand, right hand. So that time I played very lightly. There's the ghosting in the left hand. So you see it would shift between right hand and left hand depending on who has the melody. So if you're struggling with balance, that would be the best way to do that. I also want to talk about at the end of the page here, measure 15 and 16. Remember that you have an echo there. The left hand echoes. So make sure you release the right hand and you have the quarter rest and sing out the left hand on the echo there. That imitation is also very important. It happens earlier in the piece. Measure 7 and 8 is a similar phrasing there. Okay, and then we also want to talk about, there's some accents. There's only 2, but they're pretty important. Actually, it's around the same spots I was just speaking of. So measure 7 at the end and measure 15 at the end of the B section. So you'll notice that there's an accent in the left hand. So when you play it, make sure that you don't overplay that accent. We're not in the romantic or modern period, so it's going to be just a highlight on that note. So you want to have that in good shape, a little emphasis, and tie it across the barred line like that. And then at measure 15, most of us will notice, since it is played, that accented note is played by our thumb. That's usually a pretty strong finger anyway. So just give it a little extra emphasis, hold it, and you should have a good sound there. So in other words, don't give a big hand thwack to that G or to the E earlier. I think just a little extra attention, a little bit more push into the key without being overly aggressive or percussive. You should get a good sound. Give you a great sound. Okay, so as always, practice slowly, hands separately first, then hands together. I hope the techniques I gave you will give you some assistance. If you're learning this piece, my best wishes to you. This is a gorgeous piece, and I hope you enjoy this etude. If you'd like to see a full performance of the piece, look on my YouTube channel and you'll see the performance without any talking, just the piece itself. You can play along with me. If you like this video, give me a like on YouTube. Thanks.